Oh, didn't see you there. I was just digging the toolbox of my 650 horsepower truck. That can be yours. We're giving it away. lsnasty.com. 10 times entries. Go check it out. It's a big moment.
David's driving the flat.
Going that way? Oh, look at that. Hey. Dave, what do you think? Look at those chicken lights.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Hey, I was about to be a junior trucker, but now we have a big truck, so I'm like an assistant to the junior trucker.
We're gonna hook this to the
That looks stupid. It's too much. It really is too much.
I think we gotta go down.
Bro, look at it from here. Can you see it? It's hilarious.
I think it needs them down
The tongue? The bedside of the truck? You out of your mind. Down the bedside of the truck? No, because when you don't ride around with a trailer, you look like some 80-year-old man. He's like, could have montage switch. Definitely could. I'm ready to see Ant turn around, come back, rip the plug out, have to rewire the plug. None of the lights are on.
One time I took the trailer to Virginia and I rewired the plug 4 times on the way there.
Now I have that nice. Oh, you can see him. You can see him pulling in the Carly C's.
Down there to go around that corner at the intersection, and that trailer went, nah,
yeah.
ain't going. Oh, look at that motherfucker.
It's like Christmas time.
Dude, that is not glorious.
And they're
It looks like a runway. It looks like a little regional airport.
Yeah, that would be funny. Oh, that'd be good. Just something.
Wait, you're about to see him when he goes by the RV, and all you just see is just like. So listen, we got a billet HEMI in here with a carbon hat and all this, but we're looking at lights, 40 foot of lights, dude, down the side of the truck. It is the little things.
It absolutely is.
It doesn't matter. That does look good, don't it? John.
Let's see if we can get you to get one of them little RC planes and land on it.
I'm about to take the black sheep to keep our eye on that.
Oh my God.
Look over here. We'll go by the horse there.
So it's 23 and 23 and 3/8.
So the motor plate bolts to the front of that.
Motor plate has to bolt to the front of that
Yep.
if you want to use these.
Yeah.
Or worst case scenario, if we have to scoot it forward, just put a spacer in here.
Yeah.
Not ideal,
but
I mean, that's how it works.
the only thing is if you move the whole motor forward.
yep, drive shaft gets longer.
Yeah. But that,
Everything on the car changes.
Yeah.
It's going to anyway. You're going from 1,500 foot-pounds of torque to 2,500 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah.
Instantaneously.
the issue, all right, we'll explain to you guys the issue. The issue is this new bell housing doesn't fit. See how this is the starter pockets right here on this? This is the starter pocket on the HEMI, which, technically speaking, yeah, look at it on there, look at that. Yeah. So technically speaking, if we did not run a starter on it, we wouldn't have any issues.
You'd have issue on the other side. Because if you scoot it over, now your transmission center line's off. Crankshaft center line. We got to widen this whole thing.
So, hear me out. Let's see here. This is connected to the upper frame rail. This is probably connected to the dash bar.
So here's what you only got to widen it down here.
Okay. Let's just put the Whipple on an LS.
Snap that thing clean in half.
Remember when I was like, oh yeah, we'll have the motor in there in like one night? It's just cutting the mid plate and motor plate. I was like, yeah, we're just trimming the mid plate and motor plate. That's all that is.
So there's a couple ways to do this.
All right, let's hear it.
We cut these off.
Yep.
Yep. And then you'll have to build a bar down here to make it legal again.
So, but we'd have to cut the floor, really.
Hear me out. You gotta cut it off right here. Okay. We'll leave enough on it, because right here, your width part is right here. Your width part is out here, right? It'll fit from here up. Build a race car. It'll be fun, they said.
Swap the motor right before PRI.
So, just to add to the list, here we go. We got Scott. Scott does, he did some trailer wiring today. So, trailer wiring, AC repair, plumbing.
I'm a motor guy.
Plumbing, what else? What else? Did we say HVAC? I think we said HVAC. Trailer repair, engine assembly, motors,
Chassis
guy, turbo mount specialist. You name, the list goes on. Scott comes over here and it's just like, oh, something else.
This is bad.
So what'd you learn?
What you can do is...
So I learned today that HEMIs come with different bell housings. And
They actually come with 3.
what's the other one?
Depth. You've got a brow that's a steel, right?
Yeah.
That's thin.
Yeah.
Then you've
Well,
got-
sorry, I should say bolt patterns. HEMI bolt patterns.
Yes.
Because the clutch is different than the browse.
Yes. Here's the one for your clutch. All it is, it requires more bolts, right? If you look, the arc is the same.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just with the can, there's more bolts all the way around because you want to contain that clutch when it goes all over the place.
Yeah.
And then you've got this
Well, that's why I went with that bell housing instead of the brow, because the brow is kind of annoying to
extremely annoying.
change converters, because you only have that viewport to go from the bottom, where this thing, the whole thing's open at the bottom.
Yeah, but the beauty of the brow is it's all real thin.
Yeah.
And you just go open that hole up a little bit if you need to.
Yeah. Yeah. That is the case.
It makes, like, you see how big and bulky that one over there. I mean,
Cat.
that's a good
SFI
bell.
Reed bell housing.
But a steel one is a whole lot easier to work with.
I wonder if the steel one would fit any better because it wasn't so thick up here.
Oh, it absolutely will. The flange is, it's like if you look at the flange on this,
Yeah.
there's not that much flange there. So that's real thick.
Yeah. Yeah, that is.
It gives you more space to work with.
Yeah. So here's our tentative plan. Just for, I guess, ease. Fingers crossed Chris Herring calls us back and we're gonna bring him the car and he's gonna set the motor in like, what, 2 days? 3 days?
It'll take you a couple days.
And that is just moving these bars. We're not a chat. We do everything here but chassis work. We literally,
We can do chassis work. You're just nervous.
we
about
can
it.
do chassis work, but that's not like, listen, I'm just getting comfortable doing turbo kits and that stuff. Scott has to come and babysit me when I have to weld anything to the chassis because I'm like, Scott, I don't know if I'm doing it right.
You're fine.
So Scott it was what? 2 weeks ago, Scott showed me how to use a tubing bender for the first time.
True fact. And
So-
you did good though.
So learning.
I mean, here's the other kicker part too. There's enough tube sticking out down here, man. You can go straight down to that. However, to be legal,
It'd have to go to that
It
bar.
has to go to that bottom bar.
Yeah.
But all it's got to do, instead of come out,
Well, if you had a bar that had a bend on it, so from right here,
you don't even do a bend. You just do a
just
45.
45, just like that. Yeah.
That's what Chris is going to do.
Yeah. Oh, our other Hemi was a fake. It was a fraud. It had a Chevrolet bell housing on it.
Let me get my fat ass back there and I'll show you.
It had a, so we never put. I was looking at it. I remember I said I don't think we have a Hemi mid plate for it. The other one had a Chevy mid plate.
We gotta move from here down. From here up, it'll clear. Because what it really has to be, it'll have to be about level with that bar right there, about whatever the thickness of that mid plate would be, right?
Yes, 1/4 inch.
So you got to figure from here up, you're okay. Your only problem is from here down, and it'll be easy. I'm telling
It'd
you.
be easy to cut that bar and tie it back in, right?
Yeah, all you got to do is lop it like
Lop it open here, maybe?
here, and then all you do is come straight up off the frame rail again. You just don't come out as far. You just come at an angle,
And then pick it up.
And then you pick up
Mid-plate.
your mid plate, and your mid plate will bolt
right in
to
there.
this bar all the way around, right? It'll be have bolts up here, bolts down here, and all the way down here. And after that, you just stick it in there.
Because the spacing to the front to the motor plate is perfect. It's the perfect from here to the front of
So I was
this
about to say,
thing.
because it was a Hemi in there.
Yeah, so the issue was,
Had a Chevy
the
bell,
only
Chevy
reason
bell.
I knew it had a Chevy bell is, remember the car had a stock case with a stock bell housing on it? It had a stock GM bell housing.
And you also know that starter was on this side.
Yes,
It
well,
was.
yes, yeah, you're right.
It's Generous Motors.
Yeah. So,
That's why when we were looking at it, you're like, it's driver's side. I was like, no, it was all, when we had the Hemi in
it was
before,
always on the
passenger
passenger side, yeah.
It was a shimmy.
Yeah, it was a fraud. We had some Mickey Mouse Hemi.
No, it's just
No, it's just
They're made that
Chevrolet
way.
bell.
Well, I just called Brad Anderson, and he said he can make me a block like that, but it's going to cost 40 grand to move the starter to the other side.
That's fine. Let's go ahead and throw money.
let's not do that. Let's just lop these off and put a couple bars
Yeah,
in here.
literally, that's not really bad, honestly.
No.
Because you're that, heck, I mean, that
Here's where your double frame rail ties in. So you literally have 2 inches right down here to play
to
with.
play with, you can tie.
And you can cut it right here. I'm telling you, it only needs to be wider from here down. It's not that hard. If Chris can't get to it, I am completely confident we can do it.
Chris, who?
Chris Herring.
That's, he's got a Hemi.
Yeah, he's in Scott's phone as Chris Hemi.
He's
Chris
in,
Herring.
he's in my phone.
You know what, hang on.
Oh,
me
this is
you
good.
wanna see
This is good. Go look at
Y'all
this.
ready to see this? You know what another celebrity on the channel's in my phone as? Read what Logan Paul is labeled as.
Paul.
The Hemi Tech.
Bryant Crane, Hemi Tech.
Hemi Tech.
I
Logan
like
Paul.
it. Where's Logan at? Logan!
Let him come fix it.
Dude, listen, I'm a bench welder.
I know, but
I'm a
hang
bench
on, hang
welder.
on. I mean, didn't you see how Junior did it?
Oh, hold on.
Hang on.
I got it. No, leave it in there. Leave it in there. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna
Oh my
get
gosh.
just a flat. I might get a broom handle,
me
stick
a
it in there,
give me a screw.
and then just MIG weld around. Don't even notch it. And then
I
weld the
some
floor.
aluminum over.
Yeah, weld the floor on both sides. And be like, no, never see that.
Never pull it apart.
Screwdriver. But if the front goes up, would that not pull the top of the transmission back?
Yep, you can. This could get anything. See, get an idea.
So it's going so far. I don't know if it's going good or going bad, but it's going. We have
It's always going.
It's always going good. Yeah, Scott's got it right. It's always going good. We cut a lot of stuff off the car, so weight reduction, going good. Trimmed up some firewall. Actually looks better.
Yeah, looks great.
It looks better than it did before. That firewall is there's been about 12 different people that have beat the shit out of it. 13 now. Scott Took some anger out on it earlier. It has a Pro Mod style double frame rail where it's just like a square and that's where your mid plate goes. That's more Pro Mod style, wouldn't you say? As you can see, we lopped off the bottom of it because we have to widen the bars, but we got it to where the firewall's not overhanging that, so now that's ready to be spot welded in. We're going to bolt the transmission cross member up with the transmission in the car and just kind of get a ballpark of where we are, if we have clearance with the bell housing, height-wise, left, right, up, down, and anything else I missed?
Make it all fit, beat on it, paint it to match.
Scott came up here to torque some heads on a couple
No, I
motors.
installed 2 sets of heads in the camshaft.
Yeah. And
The motor guy.
the preparation for a motor, you know?
Sure.
Some other things I didn't mention that he does: suspension tuning, anti-roll bar adjustments. I mean, the list goes on. The list literally just keeps going. All right, y'all. We have you a HEMI bell inside the black sheep. People said it couldn't be done. We're out here just proving people wrong. We've been cleaning stuff up, weight reduction. Ounces matter. My man CJ grinding off tubes over here. Just lightweight. Currently, it's set up to run EV with no fuel tank, but we're gonna put a fuel tank. I think we're just gonna do a big center mount fuel tank, and then we should be good to go. Probably like have it nice and low and like just there. Yeah, we're going to put it in the box, take it down to Chris Herron's shop, and he's going to make some bars. Shout out to Scott. I just want to really give a shout out to Scott because Scott's over here putting in work, and I actually filled his schedule for the remainder of the week.
Do you think?
So Scott came up here like, hey, I'm gonna torque some heads and put a cam in there, and then boom,
Motor guy, I'm the motor
boom,
guy.
schedule him whole week. So he's gonna be over there at Chris's shop helping out with that stuff. So get you, like I said before, it's very important. Get you a motor guy that can do it all. You know, he can go camping with you, build motors. Well, I mean, there's just never plumbing, AC. I mean, seriously, trailer repair. I mean, you name it.
We've tried.
We've done. I mean, changing starters in AutoZone parking lots. I mean,
We've tried.
jack of all trades. So surprisingly, we didn't show you guys any measurements.
It's on.
It is pretty much dead nuts where it needs to be. We put it in there. We thought we were going to have an issue with the height going up. Actually, we had to bring it back down to get it square. So it is level with the chassis. It is square. It's in there. I mean, that's where it needs to be. Like Scott said, the hardest part from this point is going to be getting that HEMI style, Pro Mod style mid plate in there. And it then becomes a pain in the ass to ever take the motor in and out because you have to take the flex plate off if you're going to leave the mid plate in the car, or take the mid plate off. So like you said, probably be taking the mid plate off anytime it's got to come out.
We're going to set it up to where you just take the mid plate right out with the motor.
Yeah.
It sucks because there's nothing to hold the transmission up, but it's easier.
A ratchet strap.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited because we're gonna end up trimming some of the tin out inside the car to have the exposed transmission like here. It just makes it easier to work on. When you're like Slick Rick, you need to go like check the bell housing bolts. You just hop in there with a ratchet and go at it. This one, there's some tin in the way. You kind of got to like get down, get some wobble extensions. So make it a little bit easier to work on. We tried to do our part. We cleaned up where the tubes were and everything. Just kind of trim some stuff up, cut some brackets off. This thing is, you can tell it's raced. I mean, you can tell this thing's been beat up, so we're gonna give it a new lease on life once everything's in there. How many times are we about to put this motor and transmission in and out of this car?
At least 6 or 7.
So one of the times it's out, we'll get everything looking nice. We'll paint it to make sure it looks good at PRI. But I mean, this thing is it's a race car. It's a tool.
Yep.
So, and I would like to say we're building this thing to race. We're not building this to be a showpiece. Slick Rick is built to race, but that's definitely I'd say it's a different level than this.
Man, you never see them little imperfections at 200 miles an hour.
You got that right. So that's going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys for checking into part 1 of putting a HEMI in a car. And that's going to wrap it up. LSNAC.com. We got our giveaway going on. Win our Turbo Colorado. You can't win if you're not entered. 10 times entries. We'll see you guys in the next video.